Now we will demonstrate how to submit the student course section enrollment and completion records both in online maintenance and batch file. Like all other file types, you have the option to manually submit the SCSE and SCSC records in online maintenance, one record at a time. Alternatively, you can submit one or more records via the batch files as well. In this case, you would extract your data from your SIS, your student information system, and upload it to CalPAS. Please note that regardless of which submission method you use, the validations applied to each are the same. Okay, so now I am going to show you how to add a student course section enrollment and completion record in online maintenance. It's pretty straightforward. First, you would have to navigate to online maintenance and then course data. From there, you will land on the course data page here. And on the top, you can set your filters or you can just leave the filters as default. But in my case, I want to go to a specific high school and pull up the courses in there. So I've selected my high school. I'm going to click on Apply Filters. And in the bottom, the system has displayed the different courses. So I want to go to one of these courses in here. And then I have to scroll down to the bottom of this table, the list of the courses, and scroll to the right because there are hidden buttons on the right side. And these are your student course section buttons, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just click on student course sections for one of my courses, and it will take me to the course sections details page. Now from here, as you can see on the top of the page, you see some information about the course itself, and then below that is some abbreviated information about the course section data. And then right below that is your student course section records. And in my case, currently, I don't have any students enrolled in this course section. So what I would do is click on Add New Student, and a modal window would open. And please keep in mind that the modal window for the course section enrollment and completion are a little bit different. Because for course section enrollment, you only have to populate one or two fields, right? One of them is required, which is the SSID field. So in this case, I would populate my SSID, paste it, validate it, and what the system will return after validation is the information about that student, if it's a valid SSID. And if we go in the bottom here, you will notice the SSID is grayed out and the student local ID and student name, both fields have been populated and they're grayed out, right? And in my case, that's all I need to do, and I can go ahead and post this record. But notice there's also the UC-CSU admission requirements field in here, which we talked about earlier. And if you have that information for the student, you can populate it here. If not, you can just leave it alone. It's not a required field. And at this point, all you would need to do is just go ahead and click on Post. And you will notice now that the one student that I had is enrolled in this course section now. Now you can add additional students by clicking on Add New Student. And at any point, if you wanted to remove a student from a course section, all you have to do is click on the Open button next to the student, and you will see the modal window again, and then you have the option to delete the student. It will ask you to confirm the deletion. When you click on yes, the student would be removed from this course section. So it's really, really important that at any point, if you're removing a course section from CalPAS and online maintenance, before removing the course section, you want to remove all the students that are enrolled in that course section. Otherwise, what would happen is you would end up with orphaned student course section records while the course section no longer exists. And I believe that would trigger a certification fatal error. So next, we will look at how to add a student course section completion record. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to add a student course section completion record in online maintenance. And again, it's really straightforward. You would have to navigate to online maintenance, course data, and then you will land on the course data page here. Now in here, as default, the submission type will be course enrollment. So you would want to switch that to course completion and select your school. In my case, is Berkeley High. And I'm going to click on apply filters. And notice I have one course section completion record in here. And again, I have to scroll to the right and click on student course sections here. And that will take me to the course section details page. Again, you will notice some abbreviated information about the course itself and then the course section. And right below that, you will see the student course sections list. In my case, I don't have any students, so I would click on add new student and the modal window opens up. Right away, you will notice that if we compare this modal window to the course section enrollment modal window, this one has additional fields in there, right? Because these additional fields are conditionally required for course section completion records. So in my case, as always, you would want to start with the SSID first. I'm going to paste my SSID here. And then in addition to that, you would also have to populate some additional fields here. Otherwise, you're going to get validation errors, right? So the first field that is required for a course section completion record is the marking period code. So in my case, I am going to select first semester. And then if this is a 9 through 12th grade departmentalized course, which it is in my case, I would also have to populate the student credits attempted and earned. And there's also the student course final grade, which is required for every course section completion record. And last but not least, the UC-CSU admission requirements field, right? Which would need to be populated if it applies to this course. So if I'm on this modal and I get stuck and I need help with defining these fields or attributes, and I need help with how they are validated and should be populated, you should refer to the CalPADS file specifications document or the CFS, right? And here's the CFS, and I'm actually on the student course section file layout, right? So as you can see, the first several data elements are related to the file itself and the student demographics information. And then towards the end, this is where you will find the fields that we were looking at. So the academic term code, the student credits attempted, the student credits earned, student course final grade, and UC-CSU admission requirements code. So as you can see, we have the definition of each of the fields. And on the right, there are some additional comments related to each field. It tells you how they are validated, what the requirements are. So this is a really great document to have, especially if you're new. Even for advanced users, this is great because from time to time, you may forget certain fields and how they're populated or what validations are applied to them, so you can quickly reference this document. Okay, so going back to the modal window, let's just quickly populate the students credits attempted. We will just say 5, and then student credits earned, we would say 5, and then student course final grade, so what the student earned in this course. And then UC-CSU admission requirements field. If it applies, we would populate it. If not, we would leave it alone. So just populate that really quickly and then click on validate, and validation is successful. So everything that I entered is correct, and now I can go ahead and post this record. And there we go. Now we have successfully added the student course section completion record for this course section. And if I needed to add additional students, I would just click on add new student and follow the same steps. So we covered how to add student course section records through the course data submenu under online maintenance. Another way to do this is by going to student data, and from there searching for the student, and in the student profile here you would notice that there is a student course section container, right? And the student course section container shows you which course sections the student is currently enrolled in. If you wanted to make any modifications to that, you can do it through the open button here. The modal window would open, you would make changes and then validate and post, or you can delete this enrollment. And you can also add a new record from here. So you can add either a course section enrollment or completion, right? I just want to show you really quickly that if you were to add a new student course section record through the student profile, the system would also require you to know the details of the course section itself that you want to enroll the student in, right? So that's why it may not be easy to do it through the student profile. And because of that, it's always a good practice to add your student course section records through the student data module in CalPAS.